Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to Pathologic. Last time we ended up spending basically the whole video just getting ourselves reacquainted with this game, which, it was a bit slower paced than I would have liked, but I feel like that's just kind of how this run through is going to be anyways, so we may as well embrace it at the start. Do you have anything else to say?
My bedroom is warmer than this place.
Alright, we have more dialogue with Eva here. The dawn singing outside the window is gnawing at me. Who could be singing at a time like this? Very little time has passed, but I feel hungry and exhausted again. Since you've decided to fight death, you'll have to be very careful. It's September. You'll be dying with every breath of our air. Let's take the least annoying option here. What does September have to do with it? The steppe is full of various herbs. They fill the air with dizzying vapors. White biptire and swevery are dangerous in August and September, when herbs surrender their juices to the sun. People tend to get headaches this time of year. Heart sufferers lie in bed with pains. My heart aches too. I suffer from having a heart. How do people live here? That's a good question. Twires of rare herbs. Usually it's bearable, but this year it's unbelievably plentiful. The elderly say this is phenomenal. Nothing like this has happened before. They think it's a bad omen. Well, I don't believe that, but the air is droning. Can't you feel it? Don't you feel dizzy? Yes, the air is heavy. You need to sleep off. Never go hungry. Drink more water. You need to look after yourself properly. If you feel sick, forget everything else and get some rest. Otherwise, you may die of a heart attack or bleeding. Be careful, alright? Well, at least she's caring. Both my heart and mind are strong enough. Okay, I think that's it for Eva. You have anything else?
What?
Yeah, okay. Alright, so finally we can go ahead and leave the house, and now we get to talk to these two. Also, what time is it here? It's 6 in the morning, so I think that's when days start for future reference. And we gotta read through this too, right? We haven't read through this. As of today, my mission remains obscure. The examination of Simon Kane, who is rumored to be a man of incredible longevity, must shake the very foundation of modern thanatology and challenge the existent notions of death itself. However, even if this undying Leviathan proves to be more than a fairy tale, the mere confirmation of his existence won't suffice to prevent the powers that be from shutting our laboratory down. I need to figure out the most fruitful approach. Simon's a well-respected man. If he mistakes my interest for effrontery, it would be nigh impossible to convince him to help me break new ground in the field of human vitality. I feel like we did read that already, but whatever. We read it again. Now we get to talk to these folks. The executor. Halt! I'm going to have to teach you about the technicalities of the setting, the time and the place. It's not essential, but that's just how it is. The actor has to be prepared before he goes on stage, or else he'll fall down the aisle or stumble upon the prompt box. That would look mighty silly, wouldn't you agree? I know what the prompt box is. Who are you? Yeah. I'm an actor in a Tragic Mind show. That's unimportant. Will you listen to me or not? I'm listening. I love his mask. I didn't know if I commented on that last time, but the executor's masks are cool. Time flies by. You can't be stopped or turned back. Nights follow days, which are then followed by nights. Things happen without any regard for whether you're there to witness them. Don't expect anyone to wait for you. Most events can be missed, as we found out last time. And so it makes sense for you to visit the places you care about regularly. You'll find people that will play major roles in your fate there. They stand out from the common folk. The rest are just a crowd shot, a background, a bunch of extras. As it has always been. Indeed. So it's best to avoid hasty judgment. It's a paradox, you see. Don't try to care too much for the lives of these bound to stand out people. And don't be too dismissive of the silent crowd. Both extremes will end in tragedy. Why is that? This world cares for your reputation. A fine and crucial instrument. Your reputation changes the world you see. For it is a mirror, wouldn't you agree? And a bad reputation can get you into a lot of trouble. For example, oh, need I describe? You've got a vivid imagination. Everything changes, from mystical aspects to mundane things like the people you need treating you badly. How many enemies you've got, how high the prices rise, how bad your dreams are, lots of things. A sorry prospect. So how do I maintain my reputation? I feel like I haven't played it yet, and I've tried to avoid spoilers, but I've heard that reputation is more like a hard specs centered mechanic. Like as a bachelor, you don't have to worry about it too much. I don't think I ever ran into it as an issue too much in my last playthrough, but we'll see. Really? How's that even a question? Same as anywhere. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not betray. Do not steal, do not covet, do not be an asshole. Is that one of the 10 commandments? It should be. Do not get caught. The rules are the same everywhere. A truly selfless deed, like risking something for thy neighbor, or even a person who lives quite far away, can help in a dire situation. I see. Really? Good for you then. As for me, I can't see anything in this mask. I have no idea what's going on. Anyway, don't get too worked up about human lives, and don't put too much stock into another's word, mine included. He who trusts everyone is asking to be deceived. I know where Simon lives, so, yet he who trusts no one is deluded. I know that from experience. Okay, and that's the end of that conversation. Oh yeah, and the tragedian. Venerable Bachelor, please be so kind as to linger for a minute. This conversation won't take too much of your time, especially since time stops during dialogues. At least during the important ones. And our dialogue is extremely important. You need to know how to play after all, don't you? Play? What are you talking about, Masked Man? I'm neither a gambler nor an actor. I like how you can see the leaves in the sky stopped in their place. Of course you aren't. You're a living, breathing man. As is evident from your conditions and statuses. You experience hunger, thirst, and fatigue. You suffer from pain, wounds, and diseases. You're so lifelike. You have to eat, drink, sleep, and rest, and to make mistakes. The latter being the most definite proof of my human nature, wouldn't you agree? If I may, I would like to point out just how important it is to keep an eye on your condition. If you get dizzy or naturally sluggish, do have it checked up. The vital processes tend to run faster during emergencies than in everyday life. I know a person who died of stress but was diagnosed with starvations. It happens. I can testify to that as a doctor. You need to remind a wise man like you of the fact that hunger is sated with food. No, you don't. Food can only be found in shops, and shops can be found in ordinary houses that are marked with specific signs. Sleep, however, is more complicated. People only sleep in beds and only in private residences around here. I am sorry, but that's just how our world is. Yeah, real crazy. Yes, the world is unjust. And quite silly if you forgive me for saying so. Speaking of commerce, different shops sell similar items at different prices. Make sure you don't get cheated. People can be quite brazen around here. You can also barter with folk out in the street. Some things may be nothing more than trinkets to you, but others will be willing to part with their life's blood for them. Blood? Yes, blood. It's not my place to lecture you, but if, following your Hippocratic oath, you ever consider easing someone's pain, feel free to just approach them with a suitable drug. You will see the pain receding before your very eyes. The sick fall asleep when they're close to recovery, don't they? Or when they're close to their ultimate rest. Still, helping the hopeless will grant you a good reputation. You will be seen as a benefactor willing to part with a precious sleeping draught or a painkiller for a simple bystander. Anything else? No, not yet. Bye then, Mask. I know the way to Simon's house myself, so... To start out, as always, we're going to stock ourselves up on some garbage equipment. Got a bottle, that's nice. We can get ourselves some water. Gotta remember again how all these mechanics work. And we're off to Simon's. I know there's like those people out in Eva's yard. You can fight them. I didn't last time because I was scared of fighting. I don't know if it's a good idea, but it's not necessary, and I kind of don't want to get myself that deep into things this early off. So we'll talk with the Canes here, and we'll see how this episode paces itself. Just M for the map. Yes. Okay, that's Georgie in the far house, right? It has actually been a fair bit since I've played this. Yeah, this is Georgie's house, right? Yeah, I remember this. We still got that vertical tearing in here too. That's pretty cool. I know how to fix it. I'll fix it after the end of this episode.
Meet its death at the hand of Simon's murderer.
Oh, jeez.
That much is certain.
Most venerable doctor, it's with great impatience that we've been expecting you. Do not delve into the minutiae of your business with us, since our family is well acquainted with your scholarly work. We are also quite aware of the difficulties you are experiencing and well prepared to do our utmost to support you. It hurts me all the more to be the one to inform you that Simon, my consanguineous brother, the creator, keeper, and embodiment of all that surrounds us, has been murdered. I can't believe it. It cannot be. Let's be dramatic, yeah. I mean, murder's as good a time as any to be dramatic, right? My brother was murdered last night under the strangest of circumstances, but for all the mystery surrounding his death, I'd rather eschew the notion that his departure was connected with whoever had visited Simon that evening. The visitor is a man of laudable rectitude and an old friend of our family. There are witnesses to testify that he and Simon did nothing but converse. What happened again? Like, I know Simon died of the plague, and he was talking with, what's his name? Isidore Brock, right? Because Isidore Brock is also dead, I think, of the plague. So we have to talk with that guy. I forget his name. Who was the visitor? Yeah, someone you know quite well. The man whom my brother saw last night was your colleague, Isidore Brock. Was he not the very person to advise you come here as well? Oh, I see, I get it, yeah. Was he not the very person to advise you come here as well? Yes. Isidore has done more than he thinks. I have a lingering feeling that time itself is using incontestable powers to further its own intentions. What do you think? I'm no fatalist. It could be that my mind is clouded by sorrow, but I cannot escape the feeling that your arrival was no coincidence. Your choice was made for you, my dear doctor. Let us not blame fate for it. Isidore wrote to you without making us unaware. He took a risk that could have displeased our family. Really? Even though we were uncertain of when you would arrive, my brother was looking forward to meeting you. The tragedy may have been a consequence of the actions he took in preparation for your arrival. Someone has taken a powerful piece from the chessboard, a piece on which your position here depended. It is doubly regrettable that Simon was playing on your side. Yeah, we know that this isn't true, so it's kind of meaningless. My sincerest condolences to you. Is there anything I can do to help? Do you want to help us, Doctor? Find the murderer for us. My brother, Victor, who's in the wing next door, would share some of his thoughts on the matter. Help us, and the reward will not disappoint you. Indeed. It seems there are too many coincidences. Your brother's murder can just as well be called the murder of Bachelor Denkovsky. I will help you in every way I can. I am convinced that if there is anyone at all who can help us solve this puzzle, then it is you. This mission calls for someone as astute and inventive as yourself. If Isidore was an instrument of fate, then Simon's murder is a message of that fate intended for you personally. Do not think I am inclined to blame you for that. I am not. How do you plan to look for the murderer? You will take our own measures. The only thing I expect from you is to be yourself. Do only what you think is required. Whatever you find out, whatever you do, whatever your day turns into, everything is a included solution to this puzzle. I repeat, everything that is happening here is happening on your account. Fine, I'm fine with this, of course. No, let's go. You have my sympathy. Gotta talk to Maria. Alright, let's talk to him again.
Tell me what you want, and I will tell you who you are.
I'm counting on you, Doctor. Which of the locals could help me? Whose words can be trusted? I don't know for how long you will have to remain here, Doctor. You are most welcome to be my guest, even though I won't try to keep you. While you are here, though, and especially since you're trying to find out the truth, it is my duty to offer you a piece of advice. I'd be most grateful for it. This remote place has a history of its own. There's not enough time to retell it to you, which is unfortunate, since it is the background of the town that may possibly justify some local conventions that will most likely seem barbaric to an educated person like yourself. What traces did history leave in your society, then? There are three truths that rule this town, 3 origins, 3 ideas, if you like. For several generations, these 2 powers have been in conflict with each other. I suspect none of them can exist without the other 2, yet each of them still strives to dominate. Each of them has its own voice, too. Tell me more. These voices are the ruling families, the co-owners of the Bull Project, who have been ruling the town for almost 2 centuries. Each one of these truths they represent is screaming at the top of its lungs, and in doing so travesties whatever value it carries. Who are they? The first voice is the Sabaroffs, the second is the Olgimskis. The third one is us, the Cains. We are the 3 heads of one beast. Each of the clans will offer their own understanding of what is going on. Each of the 3 will use their own voice and the voices of their followers to lie and distort the truth. We cannot exist otherwise. However, in doing so, we will inadvertently reveal the entirety of the truth to anyone who would listen. You suggest I believe you? I suggest you believe no one. Perhaps I am the only one of the 3 rulers that would ask you to disregard his very words. If nothing else, I hope it will win me your favor. At least I'm offering you honest advice. You should never trust any of us completely, neither the Cains, nor the Olgimskis, nor the Sabaroffs. Such sincerity does indeed inspire trust. Furthermore, each of us will try to paint a rather ungainly picture of the other 2. Most likely we will fill you in on the negative sides of each other faction, withhold anything that is good about them. That is inevitable. None of us will stoop to outright slander, so everything that will be said will most likely be true. But this truth will be one-sided and incomplete. Listen carefully to what we say and take it into account. Your words are a pleasant surprise, Judge. The stories of the evil that the Cains have unleashed into this world are partially true. Do not feel obliged to act in our favor. As you can see, I will stop before nothing to ensure an unbiased investigation. The lack of prejudice I want to instill in you is the one and only reason why I am making a confession like this. I do not want my brother to have died in vain. Here our desires concur, Judge. I know we've been through these dialogues before, but I feel like it's a good idea now to read them all more carefully and to just take things a bit slower, so As you can see here, we're going to be playing through things kind of slowly here. Especially our first run through of each day, we'll probably have to end up taking multiple runs, potentially take multiple run throughs of each day, given how this game is, so yeah, we'll be starting off slow, but I feel like that's for the best, honestly. And as always, thank you for watching.